take a punch from Mike Tyson for $1 million?
Yeah, of course I would.
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
That used to be a thing, you know?
Yeah, and I would. And not because I knew I could handle it, it's because, hey, it's fucking Mike Tyson. And I've woke up in worse situations, you know what I mean? Like, I would wake up and be like, oh, I said it would be the first time I was excited to wake up in a very long time.
Yeah. Oh shit! I was dreaming I didn't wake up. I never woke up again. Damn it. It was such a good dream. You know. What's the most important sense
Out of
all your senses?
The most important? Love. Is that no more?
I don't think that's a sense.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't even know. There's 5, right? There's 5 senses.
Taste.
Smell, taste, smell, hearing, sight, and your fingers. Touch.
Yeah. Taste, you could do without, I would assume, in today's day and age, right?
Taste
when are we talking? Are we talking now or
I'm saying
the
right
history
now.
of the
Right
world?
now. For right now.
All right.
Like what's the
let's get rid of taste, because I feel like we can trust that I'm going to eat good food if I go to a restaurant. I don't have to worry about picking up toxic waste and throwing it in my
Did you lose your sense of taste during COVID?
No.
Okay.
No,
Did
I don't think so,
Did you
but
get
maybe
COVID?
I just never had it.
Seth? Did you get COVID?
Yeah.
Did you lose your sense of taste?
I did lose my sense of taste, and it was miserable.
Okay, so he's underestimating it's
I could survive.
That's what I'm saying.
that'd
So
be
we're
fine.
talking
Yeah,
survival.
it
What's the most
sucked.
important? Not my favorite.
right.
You said most important. So process of elimination, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of taste right off the bat. Do you know what I mean?
Does smell get rid of taste on its also?
I get rid of smell as well. Happy to get rid of smell if we're being perfectly honest with you. That'd be the first to go.
Right.
If you gun to my head, you get rid of one of them right now. I'd be like, smell. Take the smell.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Take it. I don't need it. You know what I mean? And now I'm impervious.
So you're going
I don't get to smell the lovely scents that I really do enjoy.
You can't stop and smell the roses?
Yeah, but I also
You can see them.
I can walk. Yeah, I can see the roses. I can touch the roses.
I can hear them.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's fine. I get rid of smell.
Then taste?
Smell, then taste, and then okay. So to me it comes down to hearing and sight, right? Touch would be a motherfucker, I guess. Am I kicking that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I apologize. I would. Yeah.
So touch would include being touched, like any
Yeah.
that sort of. That's almost a way you feel
I say
love.
touch is the most important one.
Touch would be pretty important, though. I mean, pain. Like if
That's
you
what I'm
got
saying. I
pain-
keep touch.
Oh, okay. You said you keep it.
Excuse me. I think that's the most important one.
Yeah.
Because I know blind people and I know deaf people. I don't
Touch
know
is the one
people
I
that
can
can't
barely
fucking touch.
remember, right? And it's the most important. So far, it's in the lead.
I feel like if you don't have touch, I feel like that's a reason a lot of people are depressed.
Yeah.
It's
You don't feel.
contributing factor to a lot of mental illness and sadness. Is that
Is lack of touch?
Yeah, you need physical touch, man.
Mm-hmm.
It adds to loneliness and all of that. Yeah, you need physical touch.
A
It's
nice
very
hug.
important. Yeah, a good hug. Why people shake hands, I think. I don't know.
I feel like if you lost your sense of touch, you could still get a good hug. Like you could feel the pressure. Kind of like when you're like
You don't have
deaf-
touch.
Oh yeah, but
But
you
you
get,
can,
but
like,
just somebody's like giving you like you'd
You
feel
still
like in
sense
the muscles.
pressure. Like kind of like when deaf people can sense vibration. So like they'll put their hands on stuff
But
and
they use their touch.
yeah.
Yeah, I disagree. I say touch is most important by far.
Oh yeah.
Finally,
Because like you're saying, touch would then if you lost your hearing, you could have some of that. Like if a bomb's going off, you know, okay, I can feel that, or an
Yeah.
earthquake. You know what I mean? Because you can feel the vibrations through touch. You can feel, so that helps you with being deaf, I would assume. Yes.
What do you think? What's your number
Do we have
one?
any listeners that don't have hearing that can tell us about this?
Yeah, leave it in the comments. Type it in the comments.
They're probably just assholes. You guys don't have closed captions.
Yes.
We do actually. You can go down to the bottom right hand of any video and hit the closed caption buttons, and it'll come right up.
You know, Jay Whitecotton did a funny thing on
in
one.
the analytics, you can actually see how many people watch our videos with closed captions.
Really?
Huh.
Yeah.
Jay Whitecotton did a funny thing with closed captions on. He put a self-produced special out. I just think he does such interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Jay does, and it's called Jazz Funeral or something. Anyway, he has a segment
It's a great name.
where he's talking about either deaf or blind people. I think he's doing a joke, making fun of deaf people, and the captions underneath are making fun of blind people. You know what I mean?
That's funny.
Changes who he's making fun of.
That's good.
And he doesn't really address it in the bit. It's just happening to
That's good.
He's really creative and weird,
that's.
you know.
I love any sort of creativity like that.
Yeah.
I'd say sight
Sight's the most important.
for me.
Really?
I think so, because I mean, if you got sight, you can avoid a lot of things that might get you pain.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be really sad if you couldn't
Yeah,
see
because
like
you get a little bit like, I don't
sunset.
want to touch that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You don't know that. You're just blind, touching
I wonder what a
whatever.
blind person would say.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be an interesting answer. If you're blind, leave your answer in the comments.
Please, let us know.
Yeah.
Which,
I like that you also looked at my camera.
I don't know which camera is
I
mine.
know, but you looked at that. You looked at that one, which is almost behind you. It's pretty fantastic.
Put that on the list of things that I feel bad about myself after this.
Quick, over here, Tom. Over here, over here. No, over there, over there, over there, over there, over there.
We need squeaker
This one,
toys for him.
This one
What
over
camera
here.
are we on? Camera 4? Are
This
they
No,
numbered? I
over
don't even know. I was looking at this, going back to the most important sense, because that came out of this,
All right. So what
this
did you?
Mozart book.
What did
know.
you? What did you like? What book did it come out of?
Mozart's Brain and the Fighter
Okay.
Pilot, which was a book recommended
So
in a
which
way by
sense
Steve
did-
Jobs.
Which sense did Mozart?
Well, in this book, it's the brain for brain function. Vision provides the most
Benefit?
information.
Okay.
That's where we get the bulk of our information into our brain and into our thought processes. So that was their call, you know.
I've never heard
I
of-
like touch because I think I don't think you think about how
much
it
it means.
affects like your whole mood and all this. It's got to affect obviously brain function and if you have, it probably releases a lot of tension, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you
That's
can-
an interesting
I
angle.
can
the
sense
health
heat.
Thing, the mental.
I can
yeah.
sense cold, right? If you can't sense those things, you're in trouble. But it would be curious. I've seen people survive without sight and survive without hearing.
Does anybody ever lose their sense
Well,
of
that's
touch? I guess
maybe
that's
because
paralysis.
they have help, you know.
I don't know.
I wonder if
No,
you
Maybe
can
maybe back then it probably.
I grew up
would've been
around
the
this
same.
guy. His name was Blind Bobby, and he.
Why?
would
Why
walk-
did he get that nickname?
Well, he was deaf.
Thank God he couldn't hear us insulting him.
So Blind Bobby was this tall, thin black gentleman who used to walk through the city. He would be on one end of the town, and then you'd drive to the other end of town, and by the time you were driving back, you'd see him on the other town walking, blind. And he had been walking that city his whole life. And he was-
Stick, dog, anything?
no, just him, man.
Wow.
Just Blind Bobby walking around. He
Wow.
always had candy. Like, Bobby! And he'd give you candy. He was a good dude. And, you know, so he had no help, man. And that guy
Wow.
was
okay.
just all over town. Yeah. So, I don't know. You know, you see people like that all the time, all over the place. And they adjust. And I'm not saying that, you know, that's a good thing. But I've seen people survive with a lack of sight and a lack of vision. So,
I wonder if there is that. I wonder if people, besides being the obvious of being paralyzed,
right.
like if there is a loss of sense of feeling or touch
touch, yeah.
that you I can't imagine that would be very detrimental. I would think. Maybe it wouldn't. I literally have no information on it. But it's interesting too when people lose a sense, how they gain other senses. Like
Yeah. That's what I hear at least.
right.
Hyposthesia.
Is that where one sense gets stronger?
No.
Like Helen Keller was missing them all, but she could still feel.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Allegedly, some people are have conspiracy theories about.
That she
Helen
wasn't
Keller.
blind, deaf, or dumb.
Hypothesia is the
Kinda,
medical.
Huh.
Hypothesia is
They
the
still
medical
call it
term
that?
for partial or total loss of sensation in a part of your body. You may not feel pain, temperature, vibration, or touch. It's commonly called numbness. Sometimes hypothesia indicates a serious underlying condition such as diabetes. Blah, 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 blah.
But it's
But
not like a common, like people are born
is
without a sense of feeling.
Total partial loss of sensation of part of your body. Sometimes, yeah. Pins and needles. So that's what that pins and when you were like, oh, it fell asleep. That's what that is.
Okay, God, can you imagine feeling that all the time, all
Losing
over
a
your
sense
body?
of pain, temperature, touch. Yeah, it's pretty wild. In general, hypoesthesia results from an injury or irritation of a nerve or nerves. The damage can result from trauma from a blow or fall, metabolic abnormalities,
Not having
compression that
hands.
causes swelling, pressure on a nerve, infection. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because Neil was in yesterday when he's got the missing
Prosthetic,
leg, right, or whatever, and he was talking about having feeling in his non-existent.
Yeah, the
leg.
phantom limb thing.
It's not even just like if he kicks a table, he can literally feel where, where it was
Your
kicked.
brain does that,
He can feel like it. He can feel like, oh, I just hit my toe.
Did you ask him about? He tells some funny stories about
He's
dreaming
good.
about having a leg, and then he wakes up and he doesn't, and
Yeah.
he's surprised every time. It's hilarious to me.
Oh, I actually brought that up to him, and he didn't say that because I wanted to know if, like, he ever wakes up. How long into this 10 years before he wakes up and it's his first thought is, or not first thought, but he remembers.
Just natural, yeah.
Like, and does he still ever like wake up and like get out of bed half tired and forget that he doesn't have a leg? Like,
Yeah.
And he said he still kind of does that every now and then.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What's that feeling? Like, I know you know this feeling sometimes where you wake up and you're like, oh, shit, it's my life.
We were talking about Mike Tyson 2 weeks ago, Seth and I, and we were like, something came up, and I was like, yeah, I get knocked out by Mike Tyson. Like if Mike Tyson said, I hear people all the time like, oh, I wouldn't take a shot from somebody for X amount of money.
Yeah,
And I was
he's the
like,
one that, would you take a punch from Mike Tyson for $1 million?
Yeah, of course I would. I
Yeah.
would, yeah.
That
And-
used to be a thing,
Yeah, and I would, and not because I know I could handle it. It's because it's fucking Mike Tyson, and I've woke up in worse situations. You know what I mean? Like, I would wake up and be like, oh, I said it would be the first time I was excited to wake up in a very long time.
Yeah. Oh shit! I was dreaming I didn't wake up. I never woke up again. Damn it! It was such a good dream. All right. So
Would you take a shot for Mike Tyson, Tom? You get to pick. You get to pick where the shot is too.
I do not want to take it. Give me 5 more years.
Yeah,
Well,
just end
Is
it.
that like a death
It'd be like a
wish?
preferred method of suicide.
It's
No, not from
Seppuku.
him. No, I just want him to get older and weaker.
I don't think it's going to matter.
No, yeah, it's still
I
gonna
think
hurt.
he's going to be able to throw a stiff, stout shot, regardless of age, for.
And you're gonna age the same, so it's gonna be like the equal. It's
Yeah,
gonna
you're going to
equal
just be
out.
getting more brittle.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna
once
get
again,
rock
I didn't
hard
think
abs.
this all the way through. I don't.
I mean, if
I don't really, like
if
you
my
say, for $1
option-
million, I'm like, I just keep what I got and not get punched.
Yeah.
But if you'd asked me that when I was a lot, I mean, I don't. This makes it sound like I have money. I don't, but I have enough that I don't want to
you're
take a
fine.
punch for $1 million.
Yeah. I would take a punch from him for probably $10,000.
Really?
That's a good price.
I
I would
probably-
take a punch in the arm from him, like in the upper arm, like.
Yeah, come here, you scamp. Like,
Yeah, but I don't. I wonder, like, if I
that
could
was
be
always-
drunk, I would take a punch.
Well,
from him.
sure. When I was drunk, I would have taken a punch. I would have given him money to punch me. It's always interesting whenever you hear people with the, would you do this for $1 million? Would you do that for $1 million? Like, those questions are never valid to me. I've never once in my life heard those questions and heard honest answers result from them.
I think I would like to. What I used to say, I want to win the lottery, like not just the regular lottery,
Yes,
but the
the
mega
big one,
thing, and then get a van and a camera crew and drive around the country
Yeah.
and make people do what they said they would do for $1
Yeah.
million.
Hey, would you suck this dick?
Yeah, yeah. Like,
So here's
like
the
really,
thing.
Uncle Larry, you jump into a vat of hot fat fire grease for $2 million. Well, here you go, clickety clack, dive on in. We're gonna get it on film.
I just think it's like, would you suck a dick for $1 million? And then all these guys, hell no, I wouldn't. And it's like, dude, if I had $20,000 in a briefcase, you would do it. You know what I mean? Like the actual money physically right in front of you is completely different. It's
Yeah.
always been different. And I used to hear these people, would you do this for $1 million? It's like, dude, I know you. You know what I mean? You haven't paid your rent in 6 months. You would do a lot of things for a little bit of money.
You can put the money band around the wiener. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah, dude. It's wild to hear. People are, their answers are never accurate.
I
I've never
wouldn't
heard-
do that for $1 million. What would you do? Well, I'd go to work every day and have a boss piss all over me.
You know what I mean?
Like, yes.
Shut the fuck up. I would
Piss
do that.
all
I would
over
do that for $42,000. Shut the fuck up, dude.
Pre-taxes.
It's always, I hate those questions because there's never been honest answers.
But
that's
wouldn't
why
that be fun to be able to to actually
I would love it.
to have that money like
Mr. Beast is
Mr.
really
Beast and
missing an opportunity.
Yes.
Yeah.
to just like, okay, let's do that thing, you know. Tune in next week. Danny pushes his grandmother down the
The
steps. for
thumbnail
10
is
grand.
him like this.
You know,
And
like,
it's a wiener right beside it blurred out.
Just a dick with money wrapped
just
around
like, you're like, okay, go behind that dumpster, and you know, there's like a guy standing there, like, you know,
yeah,
the opposite of a fluffer. He's the guy that. How much do we got to pay that guy?
Yeah. Who, the fluffer?
The guy that's
Getting his dick sucked?
Yes. I don't know
I
why I
know.
had so much trouble saying that.
I don't know why. You know,
You
my
know,
guess is that guy. He's pretty available.
Yeah.
If you got to be one of those guys, that guy, he's happy to be there that day.
Yeah.
I
You
bet.
just be one of the 8. What did James say the number was? Like 80% of men now aren't having sex.
Yeah, just one of those.
Yes.
What is it?
It's like some weird
stat he
statistic.
looked up where men.
It's like the amount of men sexually active is down, but also COVID happened and nobody could be around anybody. So I kind of poo-poo on that statistic.
The
a
idea
little
is
bit.
that since
I think it's a
What is
little,
that
I think it's a little
since people
knee-jerk.
started choosing based on all the dating sites that are basically, that's how they're deciding, I think. And it's there's 20% of the men that 100% of the women swipe left on. You know what I mean? Like, and then so there's 80% of men that they're not even in the game. You know what I mean? Like they'll whatever, is it swipe left? That's the good one. I don't even know.
Swipe right is the good one.
Okay, so they're whatever. There's all the women are choosing this tier of 20% of men.
Okay.
And then out of that 20%, then they're figuring out based on if they're likable at
I'm gonna
all
disagree.
versus whatever. And then the other 80% are are pretty much out of the game. So there used to be, James was saying, 70% of men are in relationships and are sexually
I like
active. and blah,
third-hand
blah, blah.
statistics.
And then now that number in the last 14 years or so is down drastically to where it's about 20 to 30% of the men are even having sex, and the other 70% are not having it. So
Well, it was in the past 2 years.
okay, some
It's like
number.
there's
I
so
see
many
a
things
lot
that go
of-
into statistics. It's just like
I see a lot of people who are not. I don't know, as attractive. You know.
That's what I said. I think it underestimates what women find attractive in men.
Well, no, I just
'Cause they have-
people like people, and I see a lot of people in couples. You know, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know about any of those numbers. I like, where do they come from? Where do those numbers come from? Are they from TikTok, or did somebody just say them? That's the real problem with numbers here recently.
Yeah.
Is anyone can say a number. You know,
Yep.
63.5% of the studies I've read lately have been fake. It doesn't make any.
Yeah.
It doesn't. You know.
I-
Just say a number and then people repeat
I've
it. and
known
then
James
it's true.
long enough to know that he's sort of rabbit holed and looked around for
A
some-
million
you know what
percent.
I mean, I would trust his number on that way more than mine. Like
Me
I'm
too.
going off what he said, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
basically.
But
And
I
I'm
also
and
like
I'm
to-
making up what he said because you know
Yeah,
how
exactly.
I am. I'm like, I
Yeah.
kind of remember. He said that 3 guys are having sex with all the women, and 2 of them are with my wife. You know what I'm saying? I gotta believe him. He went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, that's right. Is that what they're calling your wife now?
Wow.
What? I did a Tom joke.
Of course, I
I
know.
did a
That was
Tom
a
joke.
good
You did.
one.
That's
That was a
exactly a
good
good
one.
joke. That's a good. I got to give you credit. You know what I'm saying? But I got to stand up for my wife in case she's watching. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching, honey, comment in the below. And
Your Apple
and I'll
Watch
give you-
says
and
it's
I'll
time to
comment
stand
below
up for
and
your
I will
wife.
give you Eric's number.
Wait,
your
over
wife
that
is
camera.
wa-
Over that camera.
If your wife,
This one.
if your wife is watching, she's a better friend than most of my friends.
Yes, true.
Aw. Also, if your wife's watching, these cookies are really good.
Oh, she's not. So give us your real answer.
No, they're really
I'll
good.
eat one of those
Okay.
cookies. Let me get
They are
one.
pretty good. When I say we reinvented the Christmas cookie,
Yeah.
we did. We did. We ruined Christmas.
I'm interested.
Yeah. So I think let's wrap it up.
Thanks, bud.